Welcome back, everybody, to the No Business Soccer Podcast. I'm your host, Snooze, and we got a special event going on right now. Of course, you can see my boy Vic right here. Hi, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, and it looks like you're sipping on something special.
I am. We're all sipping on something.
Oh, here we go.
They're hiding from the cameras, but everybody has a nice, good pour of good old Eagle Rare, and that's what we're sipping today. We get to actually see Adam sip on some whiskey that he doesn't know about. You want to try it?
Let's do it. Some ASMR for you. Okay.
Just watching.
That's an amazing whiskey. And as we talked about, we got a full house today. We got Danny P on the ones and twos, but not today. He's hanging out with us in the back, the Brainiac J-Fam. And we got Dusty Rhodes here with us as well. He'll be popping in and out, doing a little bit of behind the scenes, if you will, coming up with some content for you guys. And today we have the European reach around, right? Everybody loves the European reach around.
That's very hard to Google if we keep saying that. We gotta...
Okay, fine. We have our European wraparound or recap for the weekend. But before that, got a couple of updates. I think first we'll start off with the cat updates. Everybody wants to hear about this cat. So the stray cat that I've been feeding, her name is Regina, as you all recall. She is now dating another cat that has like white feet and he's gray. And dude, she never comes by anymore. Before, remember I was telling you she would like hang out and she would be sitting outside? No, we don't see her anymore.
You getting jealous?
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed. Like I bought cat food and like little mouse toys. I didn't even tell you all that. I bought little mouse toys for this cat. Anyway, she got a boyfriend now and she don't come around. So cool for Regina. Thanks for that.
So wait, can you admit that I was right?
I did have a fling with a stray cat, yes.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to put that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Put it that way. I just meant you had a cat.
Okay, I had a cat for a second. Okay, next update. Austin FC minute. Vic, take it away.
Not a good showing. We looked pretty detached from anything that we have been practicing. It didn't look good. We lost 1-0 to Vancouver Saturday.
The
crowd was still cool, so it's always good to go to these games, but it didn't look good.
No, they're definitely, I don't want to say definitely not making the playoffs, but if they do, like, I don't expect them to go far. So
yeah, I don't know.
Few games left.
The good thing is that's still the MLS, so like you're not far off from first or last at any point in the season. So.
Well, we are not talking about the MLS today, though, and that's the end of the Austin FC minute. One day we'll have a jingle. Anyway, but like I said, we're doing the European reach around. And so we're going to start first. Anything else I missed, Vic? Any other things? Any updates? No? Mm-mm. Okay. Well, we're going to start with La Liga. And actually, La Liga had a midweek match day. So we're going to recap match days 3 and 4. So match day 3 saw Villarreal. They beat Celta Vigo 4-3, which really sucked. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Mallorca Mallorca drew Sevilla 0-0. Rayo Vallecano lost to Barcelona 2-1. Volidoli, they tied Leganés 0-0. We don't talk about those here. Athletic Club, they beat Valencia 1-0. Atleti and Espanyol played out to a 0-0 draw as well. A lot of 0-0s. It wasn't a very exciting midweek. Real Sociedad and Alaves played, and Alaves won 2-1. Girona beat Osasuna 4-0, and Las Palmas and Real Madrid tied 1-1, and that was match day 3. But we're going to recap the next one too, because that was one on the weekend. And this weekend saw Barca, they took down Victor's Volidoli 7-0. Take it easy, man. Rafinha gets his hat trick. Bilbao fall to Atleti 1-0, and Bilbao have not started the season great. With Atleti are starting out, they started out okay, but with the win against Bilbao, I think Atleti are right back on track. Espanyol get the first win of the season as they beat Rayo Vallecano 2-1, and it might have been the match of the weekend, which is weird to say for these teams that haven't been that great, but you could feel the intensity through the screen. Those crowds were insane, and yeah, they had to turn it up to 10 on that one. Mallorca also get their first win of the season, beating Leganés 1-0. Valencia tried not losing this time, Vic. Isn't that pretty cool? And they actually got a pretty decent result, drawing 1-1 with Villarreal, who have actually been really good to start this season. Alaves continue their hot start and beat Las Palmas 2-0. Osasuna take down Celta Vigo 3-2. And after starting off hot, Celta, we were hoping they were going to be the team of the season to surprise us. They won 2 and they dropped 2, so they're back down to mid-table, kind of where we expect them to be this whole time. Girona beat Sevilla 2-0, and it is panic time in Seville. We'll talk about that more in a second. Getafe and Real Sociedad go 0-0, and Real Madrid get the 2-0 win over Real Betis at home, and Mbappe gets his first La Liga goal. So, hey, you know,
see that?
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, Vic, tell us what the table looks like after 2 match days in La Liga.
Yeah, so Barcelona is up top with 12 points. So the only teams that has 4 wins. Behind them is Real Madrid with 8 points, 2 wins and 2 draws. Atletico Madrid is the exact same, 8 points, 2 wins, 2 draws. And right behind them is Villarreal in 4th place, again with 8 points, 2 wins, 2 draws. Very bottom is Las Palmas with 2 losses and 2 draws. Same with Sevilla, who's in 19th, and poor old Valencia is 3 losses, 1 draw, only 1 point on the board so far.
Yeah, we'll talk about them in a second. But first, the first point I want to bring up is this is why we discuss these things, but we don't make full-on conclusions this early in the season. Because like we were saying, Celta, they started off great. They had 2 impressive matches, and then they lost 2. And it still feels like they could be good this season, but like that, we can't judge a team by 2 games. So yeah, it's fun that they were good for 2 games, but they're back down where they need to be. Hopefully they get back up there. I'm not a hater. I know, right? I'm not a hater.
Jeez.
Valencia and Sevilla are the bottom 2 teams in La Liga right now, and that's insane. Valencia have been struggling a bit. Sevilla last year, but they're carrying it over. They have a combined 3 points out of their 8 games played and no wins. So they've played a combined, let me say that again. They have a combined 3 points out of their 8 games played with no wins. Yeah, that's not good for 2 teams that are meant to be up there. And I think that if this keeps up, there's going to be some changes coming. We'll see some coaches. They'll probably end up being fired, unfortunately. But these teams are too good to be down there, especially in La Liga where there's a few teams that they're not the best. So, okay, another talking point. On the other hand, from these teams, Valencia and Sevilla, we have Girona and Alaves, and they actually took advantage of this midweek. So whenever you see these midweek schedules where you have quick games in succession, if you get 2 quick wins, that's 6 points, right? Like you jump up that table. Liverpool knows all about getting... well, more than 6 points at this point, but we're not talking about the Premier League right now. Stop it.
We'll get there.
But either way, yeah, with Girona and Alaves getting that done midweek, they go 2 wins. Yeah, they're right up there at the top of the table, and it's going to be cool to see how they pan out in the long term. And again, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year for Barcelona, and it's arguably the least notably talented team that they have. And man, they are killing it right now. I think that when you look at the squad that goes out there, you see Lewandowski as the babysitter, right? And all these like 17-year-old, 16-year-old kids running around with him. We've said it before. But like Slot over there in Liverpool, we've got to give you some props. Barca are just well ahead of schedule, and they're surprising a lot of people on the way that they're playing right now. Obviously, we'll see how they do when they take on a few of the other bigger teams around, but they're looking really good. So, okay. Vic, anything you want to say about Volidoli? You want to give them some words of encouragement before we move on?
Yeah, I already had a hard time watching Austin FC, and I don't want to keep watching Volidoli like this. It's giving me pain. It's kind of a pain, and it's hurting my heart.
Yeah, you still need to get your kit, by the way.
I tried. So I did look.
Okay.
I've looked like a bunch of places. It is almost impossible to get something that's like from a reputable website that has Volidoli from it.
What's that, AliExpress? That's not reputable? Go get you some. You get like 15 for $1.
Yeah,
that's true. 6 months.
But yeah, I've been trying. I haven't just forgot about that, I promise.
Well, if there's any Valladolid fans, or Victor calls him Volidoli, please shoot us a DM.
Yeah, let me know.
Get this boy a jersey, man.
We need if anybody has one, that'd be great.
That would be insane. I don't know if they do, but
yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that wraps it up for La Liga match day 3 and 4. Let's go to Serie A. You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay. So in Serie A, match day 3, Venezia fall to Torino 1-0. Torino continue their impressive start to the campaign. Inter continue their Serie A dominance as they dismantle Hotlanta, as we call them, or Atalanta, 4-0. And this means La they are still struggling early this season, and they've lost 2 of their first 3 Serie A matches, so obviously they need to get their stuffs together. Bologna and Empoli play out a 1-1 draw, and Empoli, they've just started stacking these positive results whenever it didn't look like that was going to be the case so early on in the, well, I don't want to say early on, we are early on, but going into the season, I don't think anybody saw them getting this type of stuff. We'll talk more about them in a second. But yeah, I think we had it all wrong from the start for Empoli, which is really cool. Lecce, our milkmen, they get it done against Cagliari and stop losing. Yay! They win this one 1-0, and they were down to 10 and down to 10 men, so they still get the win. In the second match between Serie A bigs, we saw Lazio versus Milan in 2-2, and this was a fun one. Pulisic gets an assist, if anybody's counting. Captain America. Over there doing his thing. Napoli versus Parma ends 2-1 to Napoli. Conte's men leave it late, but get 2 goals in stoppage time to seal the win and the 3 points, and it's happening. Conte always does this. Napoli are going to be a fun team to watch. And Danny P's favorite striker, Lukaku's there now, banging in goals. You know, he can't do it on the international stage, but shoot, put him in the Serie A, he'll do it. And my Mastiffs of Verona get back to their winning ways as they beat Genoa 2-0. The Viola haven't gotten off the struggle bus yet, and a couple more stops it seems like they're going to be going on as they draw 2-2 at home to Monza. Udinese get the W after beating Como 1-0, and the third match between Serie A bigs sees Juve and Roma play out a 0-0 draw, and we don't talk about those here. So Vic, what does that leave us at with the table?
Yeah, so the table, we've got a 4-way tie on top, all with 7 points with Inter, Juventus, Torino, and Udinese, as you said. 3 on the bottom, Bologna has 2 points, or Bologna. With only 1 point is Venezia and Como. Como, beautiful place, not that much of a beautiful football team, so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry. It's a beautiful place, though. Come on.
Como, Lake Como?
Yeah.
Okay. And some talking points for Serie A. Paolo Vanoli has Torino playing winning football to start this season. Yes, I said football. Maybe you want to say soccer, whatever. They left it late against his old club, Venezia, but it doesn't matter. They get it done. 3 points is 3 points. And I think in this one, if you watch the highlights, Venezia were unlucky in this one, but I don't think that they were outplayed by much. It's not like when you look at these teams that, you know, you're seeing a team that is far superior. So, yeah, I think Torino, they're one of the surprises of the Serie A season right now, and it's really cool to see how they've come along. And Venezia, they sold Tessman, so now there's only Buzio. So it's not like they're not the American Eagles anymore. So not a lot to watch them for. They might be going down. At Atalanta, or the ATL as we call them, are definitely on a Europa League hangover because they just haven't played like themselves in the past couple of weeks. And thankfully it's a long season, and for them specifically, I think they're going to get it together. But the problem is that now the Champions League draws are out. We didn't even talk about that, but all the European leagues have their draws, and Atlanta has some tough matches coming up. And so the Serie A fixtures don't start to let up, but they're going to be adding more in September because of these leagues. So, I mean, they got to get it going soon, or something's going to happen, and they might have a worse result in Serie A as they were probably hoping for at the beginning of the season. And back to Empoli, we were talking about them. They have yet to be beaten in the first 3 Serie A matches, and I think if they're truly going to stay up, if this is a real thing, these points are going to go a long way in the long run, because it doesn't matter when you get 3 points or whenever you get these points, they want to make sure that they get them. That's the point. But whenever you look at the matches they played, in this match, Bologna, there were a lot of hands-on faces because Bologna had opportunities. They were there, and I would say they were almost unlucky to not win this match. But there's a lot of wasted chances. So, but either way, Empoli, yeah, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I talked a lot of crap about them, and I'm sorry. And then, of course, Daniel's favorite striker in the world, Lukaku. He scores a late winner for Napoli on his debut, and that's just what he does. He's in Serie A. He's going to do that, and it's after the nightmare opening day loss, the 3-0 loss to Verona, where we're all like, okay, Conte's cooked. Napoli are gone. Napoli have been great, and Osimhen, he left the club. He went to Galatasaray, so their number one striker isn't there anymore. So they get the number 2 striker in the world, Lukaku, right? Danny P. But yeah, they get the win. And I want to say, though, they played Parma, like we said. Parma are becoming one of my favorite teams to watch this season. And I don't mean just in Serie A. I mean just in general. They're fun to watch. They have a lot of great characters. That team attacks. And Dennis, man, awesome player. And of course they're underdogs, so I like to go for them. Unfortunately, like my Spurs, I don't know if they're going to win anything this season, but just had to throw that in there. Yeah, had to throw this in there.
Spoiler alert.
And last thing, they don't win. Fast forward to that part. And then the way Roma have started this season, you almost expected them to lose to Juve, but they actually, Juve started the exact opposite. And I know we don't talk about 0-0, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I will say that I think Roma will be fine. They were actually playing very well in this one. So, okay. Anything we need to talk about there? No, I think we're good to go.
It was a pretty cool signing from Juventus, I think so.
Who was that?
To Chiesa, went to Liverpool.
Oh, yes.
Pretty cool signing, I think.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Well, if you don't know, they have to get some money off their books, and they're selling. They had a fire sale, and Chiesa went to Liverpool.
Yeah.
So,
is it Chiesa or Chiesa? Do you know?
What's the guy in the UFC?
Chiesa.
Oh,
yeah. So I don't know if
it might be Chiesa. I don't know.
Oh, we'll figure it out. Anyway. That's going to be fun to watch. Hopefully, he's starting on. We'll get there in a little. Hopefully, he's starting on the right side across from Luis Diaz.
Okay. Well, we're going into the Prem right now. We usually save it for last, but we're going to do it right now. Okay.
Sure.
So Premier League match day 3. Arsenal and Brighton split the points with a 1-1 draw, and the real question is: should Declan Rice have been sent off? Did anybody want to say it? No?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hate shithousery. Moving the ball. Hate that so much.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it.
I'm glad he was.
Save that for a discussion.
I'm glad he was kicked, too.
I know. The dude took it. Yes. We'll talk about it more in a second.
Yeah.
Forest and Wolves draw 1-1. Aston Villa beat Leicester 2-1, and it has not been a great start for Leicester this season. Ipswich and Fulham ends 1-1. Brentford beat down Southampton 3-1, and damn, Southampton looked bad. Their defense was freaking all over the place, just sloppy. They earned this result is the best way to put that. Everton are inventing new ways to lose as they disappoint in style and fall 3-2 to Bournemouth as I stare into Danny P's eyes after being up 2-0 in the 86th minute. My God. City do what they do and they take down West Ham 3-1. Chelsea and Palace draw 1-1. Newcastle take down Spurs 2-1. Ay. We'll talk about that more in a second. And your Premier League main event saw Liverpool whoop that ass against Manchester United 3-0 at Old Trafford nonetheless.
Yeah. We beat them 7-0 there one time.
I don't have this as a talking point, so let's just start there. Before you jump into the table, tell us what you saw in that match.
No, it was good to see. We're also the only team that hasn't given up a goal yet
Very true.
in the Premier League. So we've shut them out there. We beat them 7-0 there before. We beat them 5-0 there before too. So it's pretty nice. I think it's Mo Salah's 8th consecutive time scoring at Old Trafford. So we have some good luck there. I like it. I like it a lot. And against Man U, I'm sure there's a lot of other people that are happy that we did that as well.
Yeah, they definitely didn't play a great game. I think you retired Casemiro.
Oh,
that was horrible.
I started feeling bad.
Yeah,
dude.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, well, I think. Do I want to talk about y'all anymore? I do actually. So go ahead. Let's do the table, and then we'll talk about Liverpool.
Okay.
I'll let you wax poetic.
Top of the table is Manchester City, of course, just because they have 9 goals. Right behind them is Liverpool. They both have 9 points. 2 behind them is Brighton and Hove Albion, and Arsenal with 7 points. Just outside, knocking in at the 5th spot, is Newcastle United with 7 points as well. At the very bottom, we have Wolverhampton Wanderers with 1 point.
Why did you throw in that accent? Wolverhampton.
I got a little mush mouth at that point, so I was I had to do something with it.
I got to call you out for that. Come on.
Appreciate it. And the bottom of the table, holding up everyone else, is Southampton and Everton with 0 points. But the one that's looked most impressive is Everton finding ways to lose. That's just That's talented.
Like I said, they're inventing new ways to lose.
Exactly.
I didn't think you could lose that way.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
No worries.
He's like, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Okay, let me. You know what? We gotta take. This is for Everton. Have fun in the championship. That was mean. That was.
Hey, Danny.
Strong.
Can you give me some more whiskey? Damn it! I should have asked for whiskey before. Started talking.
That was my bad. I did that. Okay. Let's talk about some things though. So I think we got to start with Liverpool, right? And like I said a second ago, Casemiro, horrible game, but I think Liverpool were bullies the whole match, no matter who was on the pitch. Salah with 2 assists and a goal. Luis Diaz is good. Just say that. Maybe, just maybe, Arne Slot isn't going to have this monumental task of filling in the shoes for Klopp. He's just good. I don't know.
Well, I think he's done a monumental task because we always give up goals first, and we haven't given up a single goal this year yet. And that's the way we've always been.
It's crazy. Whenever I see them, I don't see a difference between City, them, and Arsenal. Arsenal sucks. So Liverpool and City, they look like they're going to be great. When do y'all play? When is that first? We can look into that. Brainiac, JFam, you want to hook us up? Liverpool and City, let us know whenever they play and just shout it out. He put him to work over there.
All right, yeah.
But either way, it's just going to be a fun season. I like it whenever there's more than just City and Arsenal because, don't like Arsenal, so let's not do that. And then I will say this. Arsenal, they dropped their first points of the season after drawing 1-1 with Brighton, but I think Brighton are one of the surprises of the Premier League season.
They do look good.
They look really good. And, Everton played Brighton, so, right, there's 3 points there, baked in.
Doesn't count.
But then I think, I just don't see that there's going to be a team that's in that mid-top table that's going to be better than them other than Spurs. You know what I mean? So,
jury's still out. We don't know about that yet.
Anyway, I just really feel like Brighton are going to be great all season. I hope so. Obviously, we're only three games in, so there's a lot of football to be played. But just from what I've seen, Brighton are killing it, and I hope it stays that way because we have to have some more talent at the top.
Yeah, I agree. But this is also
not true.
Overreaction time at any point of any season. It's like the first 3-4 games. Everybody's kind of either had bad luck or squeak by where they're already riding them off, putting them in the relegation and everything. I mean, Everton is definitely getting relegated.
No.
They're
staying up, buddy.
But overreaction season right now. So.
Well, let's talk about them. We were talking about Everton and Southampton, and I just think they're by far the worst looking teams in the Prem this season. I think they both have 3 games and 3 losses, but to Everton's defense, they played Brighton, who are one of the top teams right now. They played Spurs, who are always one of the top teams, and they played Bournemouth. Okay, that was a joke. And they played Bournemouth, who are they're upper mid-table team. So I think when you look at the schedule, none of those you're giving Everton 3 points automatically. So I actually think that they will be fine if they start to get a little bit more behind them and they start to actually click. But for right now, they've just played good teams. Let them play some lower table teams. Let them play some bad teams. I don't know.
I would say the same thing, but Ipswich Town has played Manchester City and Liverpool, and they still not against Manchester City or Liverpool, but they still got 1 point.
They look good.
Yeah,
they look
pretty decent. They look fun to watch.
Okay, fair enough. And Southampton, I watched a little bit of that game, and let's see, who are they playing again? Brentford. They looked horrible. They just looked like they are not the same team that they were before they got relegated, and that sucks because Southampton have always been a fun team to watch. So anyway, and then we could talk about Spurs a bit, I guess.
We don't have to, but
I think that Spurs were the better team that game.
Okay.
They just couldn't finish their chances. And, I think that they dominated most of the game, but we don't have Solanke right now. Yeah. And obviously, Harry Kane is not coming back. So we have to have someone that's going to score goals. And it would be hard for me to say that Brennan Johnson, who was the guy who was creating, he was the only one creating when he came on, is the issue there. Because he was the one supplying these. His end results, like his crosses, his cutbacks, they never actually worked. Mm-hmm. But like, does he have to do that too? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's getting the ball in there.
Yeah, you're right. And I did watch. There were probably 2 or 3 5 to 15 minute periods in that game where y'all just looked unstoppable.
Yes.
Right? You just weren't scoring.
That was my point.
Yeah, it was crazy. So
yes, exactly. And we still lost. And that is the Spurs experience, everyone. Thank you. We dominate, and lose. The worst part is it's international break this week, but it's a North London derby. So Arsenal are coming into Spurs next weekend and whoo-wee. Coming to Spurs next weekend.
Anyway.
What am I supposed to say there? Pause or
pause. Yeah, pause.
Wait, pause.
Pause.
Anyway, okay. I think we're good to go with the Prem. Anything else you need to say? Liverpool talk, Everton.
November 30th.
November
Man
30th.
City and Liverpool. We'll both still be top of the.
Dang, that's my my due date. That's my daughter's due date.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Well, I won't be there because I have to watch this game.
Got to watch the game. Fair enough. Fair enough.
We'll see.
Okay, and we only have one league left to do on the European reach around. So let's get right into it. This is Bundesliga match day 2. Remember, they started a week late. Union Berlin get it done against St. Pauli 1-0. Bremen and Dortmund go 0-0 with Nico Schlotterbeck getting sent off in the 73rd minute. Wolfsburg beat Holstein Kiel 2-0, getting 2 goals in quick succession the first half, and this kind of controlling it after that. Stuttgart, my boys, start off high with another early lead, but they aren't able to shut the door, and Mainz, they split the points. They get a 3-3 draw. We'll talk more about it in a second. Frankfurt gives Hoffenheim the business as they take them down 3-1. Gladbach does what they are supposed to do against Bochum and get a 2-0 win. Leverkusen go down undefeated in the Bundesliga no more for, I don't know, seems like 7 years, but not really. They lose 3-2 to Leipzig. Heidenheim beat Augsburg 4-0. And what is going on? We need a nickname for these guys because they're going to be really good.
Yeah.
I said Double H. Does that sound cool?
Double H?
Heidenheim? Okay, you can't say it.
I
so
like saying Heidenheim better.
Okay,
than
well, no. We'll have to figure out a nickname. And then Bayern.
It also seems like a knockoff Triple H. From wrestling. So,
but I said double, so
I know a knockoff Triple H.
All right, fine.
But,
hey, maybe.
Jesus.
Bayern wins 2-0 thanks to, stop me if you've heard this before, goals from Harry Kane and Thomas Muller, and they're looking like them old selves again. It's going to be a fun Bundesliga season. Usually we only see Bayern winning and dominating, but there's a lot of teams that are pretty decent up at the top. And with that, Vic, give us the table.
Yeah, and just like everyone expected, Heidenheim is on top of the table.
Double H.
Number 1 with a 6-goal differential. They have 2 wins. Right behind them is Bayern Munich, of course. 2 wins as well, only a 3-goal differential. And RB Leipzig, Red Bulls Leipzig. Not Red Bulls, but also has 6 points. And right behind them, rounding out the top 4 is Borussia Dortmund, the yellow team. Remember?
Yes. Great story.
We'll tell you.
I just saved it for another day.
Sorry, I shouldn't tell inside jokes when we're doing the game. Borussia Dortmund with 4 points, a win and a loss with a 2-goal differential. And at the bottom, who would be out of the league, are Bochum and St. Pauli with 2 losses, 0 points coming out of these 2 games.
My boy, hi man, he likes those accents. He likes the
I feel like I need to.
Okay, so some talking points for the Bundesliga from this past weekend. St. Pauli and Holstein Kiel, they've started out rough. Obviously, 2 matches into the season isn't a big enough sample size to make any judgments like we talked about earlier, but from what we've seen, it just doesn't look good. I feel like those 2 might be going down. Stuttgart, man, they got to figure things out defensively. They've shown they can score. They've been up in both the games, and they've been up early, but maybe losing your top center backs from last season in Ido and Anton, that's not going to be good for this season. You think?
That's what you said.
Probably, that's what we talked about. And it's starting to look that way. I think this was one of the better matches of the weekend. Tons of back and forths, a lot of goals. If you like defense, probably not your favorite, but I think, mine still hasn't been beaten in their last 7 Bundesliga matches. So I think their coach Henriksen's probably got something cooking over there. And maybe this result won't look too bad at the end of the season when we're looking at it. But Stuttgart, they got to get it together. Come on, VfB. Leverkusen. lose in the Bundesliga for the first time, like I was saying, in like 17 years. It's crazy. And to see how much parity's in the league this season at the top, when usually like I was saying, you see Bayern dominating. But now that Leipzig beat Leverkusen, maybe Leipzig is going to be taking a step up, and they're going to be one of those teams. I mean, they're always one of the teams in the Champions League places, but you get my point. Like that's challenging for that title. They really haven't done that too much to an extent recently. And of course, Dortmund are always up there, but the yellow team's not looking too good right now. And the team that we talked about last week and the team we just talked about a second ago, I can't call them Double H, apparently. It's like a knockoff Triple H. But how about the Heim?
The Heim?
Probably not. Okay, anyway.
As long as I get to do that.
The Heim. We'll keep working on it. They played 5 matches between the DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, Conference League, and they've won all 5 matches with the combined 15 goals for and 3 goals against. They're gelling and they're playing like mid-season form right now, and I'm starting to get excited. Like Heidenheim and who was the other team I was talking about a second ago? Damn it, it was in Serie A. Who were they? Parma. Oh, yeah. Those are the teams the teams that I didn't expect to when we started doing this and recapping and paying more attention to these leagues. I didn't expect those to kind of be the ones that stick out to me. But man, Heidenheim, what they're doing, you can't ignore it. They're doing it at a high level. They had their draw for, I think it was the Conference League or the Europa League. They're in one of those. But either way, it's gonna be cool. Like seeing them in Bundesliga and in the Conference League now. I might be getting. I don't get kits.
No.
I don't get kits, but I'm getting Parma and Heidenheim kits.
It's also overreaction season, so give it a
That's what you were saying. I was like, what is he talking about?
Exactly.
Okay, you're right. But hey, they played 5 games, like I was saying. So it's not like the 2 or 3. Right. So, but you're right. You're right. Maybe I am overreacting. I'm just like, we'll be watching these in October and be like, man, that idiot.
What the hell was
these teams are horrible. Okay. Oh, I will say this. Their next match, Heidenheim's next match is against Dortmund, not this Friday, but the following Friday. So that will be a, get this big word incoming, litmus test for both teams.
You've been practicing.
Yeah, I have been having. So, let's keep it up, the Heim. No?
The Heim?
Double H? We'll figure it out. And that is it for the European Reach Around Special Edition. In my house.
Live edition.
On my couch, live. I think they're mostly all live anyway.
I mean,
but look, I still got a little bit of alcohol left. So before we get at it, while you're getting us out of here, I'm going to drink this. How about that?
All right. Well, again, appreciate it. Hope you guys like this format. Let us know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe. And let us know if we got something wrong about your team or if...
it's really good whiskey.
That being said, we're going to tend to Adam here. And thanks again for joining us. We will see y'all next time, and take it easy.